Hey, it's Mark, Single Car Garage. Welcome back. What are we doing today? Well, let's look and see what we're doing today. We are doing this 66 Buick Special. Now, I've had this for a couple of years, and I've done a couple things to it, and we'll go over that. But this is a real clean Buick Special. I mean, just almost no rust, solid floors. Back seat needs to be worked on. Good door panels. Could use a new armrest. And this is going to be a Will It Run episode. Like I said, got it a couple years ago, and the motor was locked up in it. It had an old nail head in it. So we pushed it off the side. Well, I found a Buick 350 that came out of a 73 GS, supposedly. But I gathered it up. They told me it ran. So I've got it here, and I've got it in the car. And I put a new gas tank on it because the old gas tank was pretty rotten. Cleaned out the line. Got everything from the tank to the motor done. So let's finish up under the hood here and see if it'll start. So it's, I think this motor has set 4 or 5 years. If I'm not mistaken, set a few years before I got a hold of it. So, all right, let's go take a look at this. Now, what I did before we started this is I did take each one of the plugs out. I cleaned them real well and looked at them. The plugs looked good. So I cleaned them, installed them back into the motor. And of course, we've got a few things that won't hook up on this engine because this engine is different from the nail head. So, but we got in there, we got our starter wires hooked up, got all our fuel lines hooked up. Found this radiator. I think it came out of an old Chevelle. Now, it's not anything I would use permanent. But I think it'll keep the engine cool. No problems with that. Clean the filter real good. And like I said, I put a new tank in, clean the line. I have a new line, but this line looked pretty good. I cleaned it up, and it looks like it's going to be okay. And went on and changed oil and stuff in it. So this carburetor that is on this supposedly is a good carburetor. I know nothing about it. And supposedly a good motor. I did check the timing while we had everything opened up, and everything looked good on that. Now this thing does not have exhaust on it in case it starts. Now just notice something we need to do, because this is going to yep, I need to get a let me get a cap for this so we can cap this off, because we don't need it sucking air. So hold on a minute, let me go grab a cap. Got a cap, put over this. Now, this will have a brake booster on it once I'm completely done, but I want to get it started and find out about the transmission before I did a brake upgrade on the front, and I might close that off. It might operate off the stock brakes until I figure out what I want to do with the car. So I got a lot of ideas, but big thing is I need to get a motor and get in here running. So I'm not prepared to test the transmission today because I don't have good brakes, but I am prepared to see if this thing will start. And let's see what she'll do. All right. Hey, that's pretty friggin' nice sounding music there, isn't it? Sounds like the old 350 is going to be pretty good. I didn't see a lot of smoke, just a little bit. It smells like gas smoke. It don't smell like oil smoke. Of course, I haven't run it very long, but looks like it idles good. It idled down good. Started real good. So, man, I'm impressed. I'm impressed. So, my next deal will be to get the brakes on here so it will stop good, and then we will take it for a ride. How about that? So, got a few other things I'm working on, but today it was cold and rainy outside, and I thought, well, let me drag this thing and see if I can get it started, because I've been wanting to know. I had the tank all hooked up. I don't know, a long time ago, months ago, year ago, whatever. But I had not tried to start it at all because I had to do some work underneath the hood. So I thought, well, let me pull in here and get that done today. And like I said, I just went through and checked to make sure the timing was right, make sure the distributor was set right, cleaned all my plugs, and got a good carburetor on it, everything hooked up, and everything's sounds great. So now we're ready to move on. And I'll tell you my ideal about the car. It's a real good clean car. It has had one repaint, and it had a fender bender in the front, and that's why it got parked. The guy was going to fix it and make it a second driver, and it just never got fixed. Well, the fender, it barely hurt it. It did buckle the hood, and let me show you here. It's got a gold hood. So, put the hood on it, and it's set in his basement for years. So, I got a hold of it, and I like it, and I'm not going to call this patina. It's just wore out. What I liked about it, my best friend's a Buick guy, and his dad's a Buick guy, was I found them one 10 or 15 years ago. Matter of fact, I found them two fairly solid Buicks, and I really wanted one. And I love 66. I got that 66 Impala, so I like the 66 thing. And this thing has no rust. Front fenders, no rust. Behind the wheels, no rust. It had a small spot on that side all the way to the back. I think that was it. All around the windows is good, no problems there. Great floors, great trunk, no huge problems. So, well, hey, let me grab the keys and I'll show you the trunk. Well, I thought I was going to show you the trunk, but I forgot I had all these parts back here. It has the original trunk mat in it. So, you know, being solid like that. So my ideal is to leave this like it is. It's got a little bit of primer here. Now, when I picked it up, it had a couple of cracks, and that's when your seam is on your roof and your quarter panel. So I cleaned all that out, treated it. It didn't really have any rust. It just had some cracks, and fixed that. The other side was okay. It's got some paint coming off right around the window here on the galvanized part, which probably just primer that. My thought is to leave it the way it is. I am going to paint the hood and not clear it, and I think it'll come close to matching the car. If not, I might just primer it and leave it. And I think I'm going to put a set of 20-inch Grand National wheels on it, the black laced ones, or GNX wheels, whatever. I always call them Pontiac GTA wheels because that's what they really are. But I think it's what I'm going to do to it, and then think about it for a while. I want to get that 350 and stuff built, but what I want to do is get it out and get a look, and then decide what I want to do under the hood. So, hey, but anyway, you heard it start. I did not expect that to start that easy. I expected it to be a little bit more crankety crank because most of the time when I start one, it's a crankety crank thing. So that excites me. It excites me. So now I'm ready to do a little bit more work. Maybe if well, I'm going to try to get this thing on the road by April if I can. So that's where we are. That's what we've been doing today. Thanks for stopping by. I'm glad that something worked out this time. So, hey, come back and see me when you get a chance.